Hey guys, Yuri here. Welcome to this special video today. We're talking about the core tenets of a profitable practice. In this part, I'm going to be talking with you guys about a really important concept I think very few people think about, very few practitioners think about. And I want to challenge you and encourage you to really think about this for your specific situation. So this core tenet goes like this. Richard, what's going on, buddy? So here's how this goes is if it's all in your head, your business is dead. And here's what that means. And here's why this is important to understand. So you are a expert in a specific domain. You help a given segment of people with specific issues and conditions, and you have a lot of knowledge in your head. But what happens, let's just say what happened, God forbid, you were to get hit by a bus, right? Or if you were to go on vacation for a week or so, right? What happens there? Well, all that knowledge that's in your head is in your head and no one can access it. And that's a problem because what that means is that your entire business and all of your patients rely on you. And so that's what I mean by if it's in your head, your business is dead. One of the, I think just a really good way of thinking about the business and how you do what you do is to think about how can I productize my service? So your service is the conversations you have, the protocols you give to people, the step-by-step process you walk them through. Let's call that the service, right? I want you to think about how can you productize that? How can you turn that into a product that can be delivered independently of you? So if you were ever to write a book, if you think about a book for a second, a book is somebody's protocol for a specific issue, right? When I wrote the all-day energy diet, this is what I would tell someone. If you want to have more energy, here's what to do. And I just so happened to write it in a book. And then I did the same thing with the all-day fat burning diet. And so if you think about any program or course or book, all that they are is they are a productization of a service, a productization of a process. And one of the things that we help our clients with is this whole idea we call a dream come true system, which is like the dream come true outcome that your patients or clients would want. Here's how we craft that whole thing for them. And at the foundation of all of that is what we call a proprietary process. The proprietary process is your secret sauce, your methodology for how you help someone get a result. So like one of our proprietary processes is called the perfect client pipeline. That's our 4-step really sales and marketing acquisition pipeline to bring a flood of leads, qualified leads and patients into your practice and business on a daily basis, right? So that's one of the ways that we've productized a process that I figured out years ago. So I want you to think of in your business and it's not just about the delivery, it's like everything. If you think of so what I'm doing right here, how I'm recording this video. So let me give you an example. How I'm recording this video right now is currently not documented. And that means it's in my head. So when I open my computer, I go into Ecamm Live, I log into lulu.tv for the Instagram side of things. I hit record and it goes, okay? So that is in my head. It's a simple process that I understand how to do, but it's not documented. Now here's where the challenge lies, is let's say that I was not the only figurehead of our business or our company. And there was other people on our team, which there are, that could very much share a similar message to what I'm saying here. And if I were to tell them, hey, I need you to go live once a day for the next week while I'm away. And they're like, cool, how do I do that? And if I can't give them a process for how to do that, then what ends up happening is I waste a lot of time having to go back and forth with them to tell them here's how, okay, go here, then do that, and And the reason that's a problem is because it's all in my head. So what that means is that you become the biggest bottleneck in your business because you haven't taken the time, or I haven't taken the time in this case, to take a few moments and document what I do. Does that make sense? I hope it does, because if you think about everything from the start to the end of everything you do in your business, like how to upload a video, right? How to write an email, how to lead an initial consultation. Think of every single thing that you do in your business, and day by day, think of how can I create a document or a process around that, or at least one thing. So like in our business, we have a company playbook, and that playbook is kind of like if you were to go work at McDonald's, McDonald's would give you a manual of how to do everything. Like here's how to make the burger. You put the lettuce on, then the patty, then 2 pickles, not 3, 2 pickles, then 1 squirt of mustard, like literally to that level of detail. And when you're able to do that, now you start to create a business that no longer depends on you. And this, I think it's fairly easy for operational type of stuff, but it's a little bit more challenging for creative endeavors. However, if you can figure out how to process size creation, that becomes pretty interesting. And we've created some internal plays that have helped us do that, so that I don't have to do all the creation. But what I've done is I've taken, it's almost like when a computer or a team of engineers are looking to create an algorithm, right? An AI, artificial intelligence of some kind. A lot of times they can say, what is the decision-making process that would go into figuring out this outcome? And we're going to take those parameters based on a lot of data we've collected over the years, and we're going to turn that into some type of machine learning or algorithm. And as a result of that, the machine or the algorithm starts to do its thing, and it starts to learn and grow over time. And that's kind of that's what I'm encouraging you to think about here, is how do you, let's use an example here. How do you identify what to talk about? Let's use this as an example. So let's say you're shooting a video like this. How do you come up with the idea for what you want to talk about? Now, it might just be like on a whim, right? It might be like, oh, I just got an intuitive hit. And that may be true, but I want you to really dig deeper and think about, if I were to really think about this, I was probably in a conversation with someone, or I saw something that I think was newsworthy or worth talking about. And if you can start to identify these parameters, now you can start to process size creation to a greater extent, so that when you start to build the team around you, that you're not the only cog in the wheel, that other people can create and share value and add goodwill to the marketplace, even if it's not solely you. So there's many, many different ways of creating what we call SOPs, or standard operating procedures, all the way from creation all the way through to operations, right? So like, here's how we bring a lead into the business. Here's how we, here's the process for talking with them on the phone. Here's how we run an initial consult. Here's how we run their lab work. Like all of it. Like if you can document it step by step, and here's the acid test. You should be able to give this, either a video that you walk someone through or a step-by-step process document. You should be able to give that to a 15-year-old that obviously can read, but has no experience doing what you do. And at least from an operational standpoint, be able to do that thing. If they require high levels of technical expertise, that's going to be a challenge, and that might be a little bit more applicable for like patient or client-facing type of things. But for the most part, if it's like how to upload a video to YouTube, how to edit the thumbnail, like whatever, any kind of operational execution, if you can document that and get it all out of your head, you create a massive amount of freedom in your business and in your life. Because what happens is that when you decide to take a week off, which I strongly recommend you do at least 4 times a year, okay? You have everything that was in your head stored somewhere in a Google Drive or somewhere where you archive all of it, right? And now your team or your assistant or whoever's around you can say, all right, someone's asking for a refund. How do I do that? Or a payment failed. How do I capture that? And what that gives you is freedom, right? It gives you this peace of mind knowing that you can just kind of relax, and everything that you would normally know how to do has been documented somewhere. So you can give this off and someone else can do that, right? Is this making sense, guys? So this whole idea of that, like if it lives in your head, your business is dead, is very, 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 very pervasive in this space, because we all think that we are special, right? And we are, but we're not. And I want you to make you, I want you to make, your goal is to make you irrelevant and replaceable in your business. You may want to write that down. I want you to make yourself irrelevant and replaceable in your business. The more you feel that you are important in your business, the more you feel that nothing can get done without you, the tighter you are putting those handcuffs on your own wrists. And this is part of relinquishing control and expanding what you're able to do through technology and people. And the only way we can start by doing that, or start to do that, is by documenting what it is you do and how you do it. And that's why, let's look at McDonald's. So that's why McDonald's is so big, because when they started off back in the, whatever it was, 50s or 60s, they created a system, and I can't remember the name of the system now, but they, like, again, if you've seen the movie, the founder, like, they went on a tennis court and they said, okay, how long does it take us to get this burger done? And it was like, I think initially like 30 minutes. And they boiled it down to like 30 seconds by improving the system and the arrangement of how the kitchen was laid out. So what did they do from there? Well, they documented it, they turned it into a framework, and they just kept adding to their playbook of, like, here's how we make a Big Mac, here's how we make a quarter pounder, here's how we make the fries. They're put into this oil, they're cooked for this exact amount of time. Doesn't matter if you're 35 years old or 15, you can do that. Making sense? So that's my challenge for you today, is I want you to just do one thing, okay? I want you to do one thing today. And I want you to think about, what is the one activity that is just like draining your energy? Maybe it's checking email, or even how you make decisions about what you're going to respond to or not by email, or whatever it is, right? Pick one thing you want to get off your plate. And I want you to do that thing, and then I want you to document how you do that thing. And that could be just record a screen flow video or a screen share video, and then share it with whoever needs to see it, or just keep it on your desktop for at some point in the future. Like, one of the things that I do is, whenever I find myself doing something that's like a $10 an hour task, I'm like, dude, what the hell are you doing? And second, dude, if you're gonna do this for the next 2 minutes, at least record it. And so I have a folder on my computer, and everything that I'm doing that I never want to do again in the future, even though I might not have that person or that process in place yet, I document it now by creating a quick video of me doing the thing. So that, in a couple months, couple years, whenever that person comes into that role, well, it's like, you know what, here's a bunch of shit that I never want to do again. Here's how to do it. And what I've just done there is I'm doing the thing anyways, I'm just recording it. I'm too lazy to personally write, so I would just take that video and give it to someone else to write a process document around. But I've done many process documents in the past where it's like, step 1, do this, step 2, da. And then I can just hand it off to whoever needs to do it. And now I never have to do that again. And that's how you create freedom. And that's how you separate yourself from doing everything in the business. Cool? So that is my challenge for you today, is do one thing, document it, process it out. And I think that will just, you'll just feel this weight off your shoulders in a really significant fashion. So that's the deal. If you guys enjoy this, let me know in the comments. If you are a little bit overwhelmed with all the stuff you're doing in your business and you need some help building out the right systems to bring more patients and leads in, or specifically patients, not just leads, right? We want patients, paying patients. If you want a predictable system that's going to bring those people in, if you want better systems to scale, leverage your time, etc., then let's have a chat. Go to workwithyuri.com, book in a call to speak with us. If you own your own practice, if you've been in business for at least a year, if you've got a proven track record of helping people, we can probably do some amazing things together. And if you want to talk with us about how we might be able to help your business, then the link is around here, or just go to workwithyuri.com. I'll say one final thing right now, is that your success in business right now is dependent upon your ability to adapt quickly. I'll tell you more about that in the coming episodes. All right? Have an awesome day, guys.